please raise your hand and I'll call on you. Doug, you can go first.
Hey, Kurt, Doug with Hearst Connecticut Media. I just wonder if you had any update on John Quell. I know you said yesterday, assuming she cleared certain protocols, she'd be ready to rejoin you guys tomorrow. Is that still the plan? And kind of what's the latest?
Yeah, she's here in DC in protocols, just trying to get her through those protocols and have her available for the game. That is the plan. But she's still got to get through another day of negative tests. We still got to receive another negative test before she is completely cleared.
And, regarding that, whenever she does return, I mean, obviously her presence on the court is huge for you guys. Just what does it do for the team, just knowing you have her back, kind of just, from a mental standpoint?
She's a tremendous player and even a better teammate. So they'll be excited to have her back. One of the elite rebounders in the world, the versatile offensive player, gives us an inside-outside presence in the post position. Her length is a factor defensively, her activity defensively. So again, it's not going to be where it was when she left. You get into a rhythm, you get into a routine within the system. We've got to get her back in and gel her back in, and it's not going to be exactly perfect where she left off. So it will take some time, but obviously the players are excited to have her back. She's really excited to have her back. What a great start to the season. And we just hope to get her up to speed and continue what she had started before she left.
Thanks.
Charlotte?
Hey, Kurt, nice to see you again. Talking about what JJ will bring, I guess, who do you think benefited the most on the flip side of that in her absence, just being able to kind of get that more experience and be able to play those minutes?
I think it benefits all of us that, like it taught us that winning those last two games without her, that you can beat really, really talented teams. And that next up mentality, continues to hold true. If you would have told me going into this year that we would be playing games without JJ and Alyssa Thomas and winning against really talented teams, I might have chuckled. But this is what we've created here. Chene went down. AT became one of the best facilitating forwards in the world. It just, allowed her to play more four, and we've never looked back. I think it helped all of us. Individually, who did it help on the team? Charlotte was certainly Kyla. Charles got more opportunity. We had to play DB at the four a lot more in terms of minutes and percentage of her while she was on the court. That put Kyla Charles into the starting lineup. That put her on the floor a lot more. She didn't have to worry about every mistake. She could play through mistakes and play a little bit freer. And you see Kyla back to what we saw in the bubble last year and having really impactful opportunities. And then the other person that obviously could have been player of the week, ecstatic that DeWanna Bonner was named player of the week, but it could have easily been Bree Jones. And, Brianna Jones has just been tremendous without JJ, even more intent to play through her in the low post, get her some low post touches. And she's just had a phenomenal stretch here without JJ. So I think it benefited all of us, Charlotte, but those two, have obviously really stepped up for us.
Rafiq?
Hey, Coach, with Jonquel Jones being back, how will that affect Kyla Charles' minutes going forward?
How would it affect her minutes, I think is what I heard. Obviously, if JJ's back, it will bring Kyla back off the bench. But now, even with, a ton more confidence, now you have Natisha, who's really a spark plug, Kyla, a spark plug in the backcourt off the bench. It gives an opportunity, to put Nay in there, like that Obviously, we were in a stretch where we were playing against Jewel Lloyd, Enrique, and Allie Quigley, really, really difficult guards, and, hard to take Bree January off the floor at times in some stretches against the elite two guards. But it's going to really benefit our backcourt. We'll have more of a spark off the bench. But Kyla's going to have a boatload of confidence in the minutes that she does get.
Alexa?
Hi, Kurt. What's been the focus in preparing for Washington? And obviously, Tina Charles has continued on her really incredible run since you guys last saw her. She scored 29 points against you guys the first time. So what kind of tweaks are you looking to make to try and maybe slow her down a little bit?
Yeah, who has? No one has, Alexa. Like, she's just been amazing. Her numbers are off the charts. She's shooting threes. She's got efficiency in the low block. She's always been one of the most talented low block finishers in the game. She can go over both shoulders. She's got a variety of moves. Each year when they ask, the GMs who is the hardest to guard underneath, it's her for me. She just can go over either shoulder. She's just really talented. But I think it shows that this team loves to shoot the three. So, some of our focus has been their 3-point shooting and understand where they're getting them, how they're getting them. They're taking nearly 31 threes a game through their last 5, and some of that has to do with some injuries. But they're shooting it, almost 12. They're almost making 12 threes a game. They're, getting the most points in the league, percentage-wise of points from the 3-point line. Their 3-point statistics, analytics, as you look at it, are off the charts. So you've got to talk about their threes, and then you got to talk about Tina. But we proved in the first game, Tina went for 29 and we still won. So you've got to, be able to, you got to be able to do a little bit of everything. Guard the arc, guard Tina, and you got to pick your places because they can really hurt you inside and out.
Ned, you'll be the last question for Kurt.
Afternoon, Kurt. Pardon me if this has been talked about, but I got here a few minutes late. Injuries and absences this year, there seem to be much more of them than ever before. And no matter how many times a coach or player might say next man up, that is obviously easier said than done. What particular areas did you see growth for the team the last few games that's allowed you guys to win without, as you mentioned, 2 starters in AT and JJ?
Yeah, I think that mantra of not looking over your shoulder, like there was going to be this magical person coming through the door to help us. And, and so we just really got back to what we were doing, and that's playing hard. We had a really disappointing 3 minutes going into halftime, and we went from a 17-point lead to 6-point lead. We didn't finish the game real strong that last couple minutes either in the fourth quarter. So, we just, keep talking about the little things and staying focused on the next possession and being better in those moments, because that could have been disastrous on how poorly we played right before halftime. But we played so hard, and despite that segment before halftime, we played so hard. So we weren't perfect. We had segments in the game that were very poor, but we never stopped playing. We never stopped believing. We played hard. And I think that really helped us, gave us this mindset that it doesn't matter who's here. It doesn't matter who's healthy, that we can continue to still win games. And Washington's, the same way. Mike does such a good job when there's injuries. Like the amount of injuries that they've had is astonishing. So you just got to keep the troops focused and process driven and not results driven, and do the best you can in what you believe in, and let the wins and losses take care of themselves. But we're ecstatic to be where we're at, and won the last couple games without JJ, and now we'll incorporate her back, and it won't be immediate, but we're excited to have her back, certainly.
That's good.
I'll fit you in if you have a quick question.
Yeah, this was just a quick one off of something that kind of Ned mentioned and you brought up too. It feels like just league-wide, there's just been a lot of injuries in addition to the absences for international commitments. Do you feel like, I don't know, this is the same stuff that happens every year with injuries? Is it more than usual? You guys have been somewhat lucky, but other teams I feel like have had a ton. Do you have any thoughts on that?
I don't think there's ever one reason. I think it's always difficult in our league where we played a bubble season where we were playing games in intense situations every other night. And then a solid percentage of our league goes over and plays overseas all year, and so I think there's always wear and tear, but that's not the only reason. It's, a rash of bad luck, but it's impacting everyone. I don't think the injury bug spared everyone. If you look at our roster and you throw in there 15 games missed by AT, now 5 games missed by JJ, we had games missed by Bree January, we had games missed by Jazz. And you start to think about the amount of games that we have missed by what we would perceive as our starters. It's unfortunate, but it's everywhere. It's all across the league. So, yeah, but there's, Alexa, I don't have, a certain concrete answer for you to why it seems to be more prevalent this year. But certainly, despite only 22 games last year, we played 22 games in a really short period. And then we went into an intense true playoff system. So, it was a difficult season last year, even though it wasn't as long as some.
Definitely. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Kurt. Okay, please raise your hands for questions for Jazz. Charlotte?
Hey, Jazz, nice to see you again today. How's it feel knowing JJ is coming back really shortly and that you guys get her back after her time in for Bosnia and her to go back?
It obviously feels good. We love her as a person. She's a friend before she is a teammate, but obviously what she's able to do for us, we did the best we could while she was gone. But she would have went even better, but we are super happy to have her back. Just her energy, her everything.
Alexa?
Hey, Jazz. Hope you're doing well.
Okay, thank you.
What do you think the team or even you individually just learned, or how you guys grew as a whole, having to learn how to win without her and pulling out 2 really big wins, without your star player?
We always talk about like people having to step up when key players are missing. So I think just everyone taking a little bit more responsibility and holding each other accountable, and also just our mistakes. I want to say like our turnovers have been up over these last few games, and that's a little bit of, indecision. That's a little bit of us just being stronger with the ball. But I think that's something that we learned is that when we were playing against certain teams, the Chicagos, the Seattles, Dallas, like when we don't take care of the ball, we give teams an opportunity to run on us to get easy points in transition. So I'd say that was one of the big things.
Thank you.
Afik?
How prepared you guys think you are when you're going up against the Washington Mystics, especially with Jocko Jones coming back?
We prepare for every single game in this league the same. Our coaches do a great job with scout and video. And us as professionals, we just lock in and make sure that we are ready to execute the game plan.
Ned?
Afternoon, Jazz. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Hot and muggy.
Same here.
Yes. Obviously, you guys have been through times when you've been missing players. And obviously, it's always next man up. Have you had a moment to sort of appreciate what you guys have been able to do of late? Because injuries and absences have ravaged just about everybody this year. And you guys have just been able to keep yourselves going without really 2 starters in JJ and AT this time around.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's just a credit to Sun basketball. I feel like, we try to put a team together here where we're confident in everyone's abilities. And, it really, during this stretch, us putting those pieces together on the floor. JJ's the type of player that, whether she's here or not, when she comes back into this, it's easy to get her into a flow. She does everything for us, so she's going to fit in exactly where she was when she left. And then, it's hard replacing what AT does. And, I think we still miss some of that. Our transition has been a lot slower this year without her, but we're trying to get back to some of that. So I think it's, us just trying to supplement it the best way that we can.
Thank you.
Hey there, we'll go ahead and get started. Ned, you can go first. Ned, are you muted?
Oh, you're me.
No, actually, I didn't have my hand up.
Oh, well, it is up on our end. So, do you have a question?
Yeah, I can go. Hey, Kyla.
Hey.
Coach was saying that he thinks probably just in terms of individually who maybe benefited the most from JJ being gone, that you were one of them. Obviously, you started the last 4 games. Do you feel like you got kind of some of that confidence kind of going that in this recent stretch, and that you'll be able to bring it off the bench now that JJ's coming back in? And what did I guess feel like to have some more of those reps in there the last few games?
Yeah, I definitely think it made me more comfortable, more confident being able to play more minutes. Like you said, being able to get those reps, in-game reps, made me more better and, helped me learn the game more and just helped me improve. And so I'm looking forward to being able to carry that over when JJ comes back, being that spark off the bench and just getting better every single day.
Ned, do you have a question now? I guess not. He just muted himself again. Rafiq?
How excited are you to have Jonquil Jones back, especially since, and also, what are you guys looking to do to prepare for this 3-game road trip coming up against Washington and the 2 games in Indiana?
Oh yeah, we're definitely excited to have JJ back. I mean, she's, our leading scorer. She gives us a lot of energy. She can do so many different things for us. And she's just a great player. So, we missed her in these last couple of games. We missed her off the court. She's a great person. And we're just excited to have her back, have our team back together. And just moving forward, we got to stay focused. We know Washington and Indiana can be really tough teams, especially if we don't come in focused and locked in. And so our focus is just playing our basketball, making sure we're getting better every single game. And so tomorrow, we know it's going to be a battle, Washington at home, they're going to have a lot of energy, fuel with their home fans. And so we're just going to come in prepared and stick to the game plan. And then Indy, being on the road for 2 games, it's going to be tough. We're not at home in front of our fans. We don't have that energy, and we just got to be focused. We got to be locked in and make sure that we execute how we want to and make sure we're getting better every single game.
Okay. Thank you, Kyla. You're all set. I don't see any other.
Thank you.